I just never heard it until I was much older. But the expression said that Jamaican persons love likes. And I think what it
Yes.
means is that we, once we're getting something, we're
Mm-hmm.
okay with somebody's behavior either way, or we just, that person's good as long as we're getting something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to, I guess maybe some of the elite athletes, as long as they're producing, they can do no wrong in the eyes of the Jamaican public.
Hey Chakis, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. So Chakis, this is going to be a really deep video. So before we get going, just hit that like button and of course subscribe to the channel if you have yet to do so. Also, track fans, one of our fellow YouTubers, Sports Circle 345, had his channel shut down and he got to 1,000 subscribers and was monetized and he
I
lost
think it was
all
over
that.
2,000.
Yeah, no, I mean the threshold, right? So
Okay.
once you get to that threshold, you get monetized, and he lost everything. And we have been through our own struggles, so we know for a fact how hard it is to start over because we tried and it didn't work. So we're just gonna ask you to please head on over to Sports Circle 345 and show him some love, support him by hitting that subscribe button and taking in his content, sorry. We would really appreciate that because we have to support each other, right? Now, with that said, Elaine Thompson-Herah being bullied. Okay, let's just get it off the table straight off the bat. We here at TXT Track Time do believe that she was indeed bullied, and we're gonna delve into it a little bit deeper. So, as you know. The World Championships would have happened, and videos were shown on social media about our athletes, enjoying the environment and everything that was going on there. But certain things that were taking place in the videos, I suppose, would have raised a few questions, and questions I believe rightly so. Now, some way, somehow, I don't know, Tom can delve into this a little bit more, where the narrative became, it's on the onus of the person to, step into a frame and invite themselves. So, Tom, take it away and you know, give us a little bit on this whole bullying situation.
I think there was one particular video where the athletes were celebrating before the medal ceremony. So three of the ladies were dancing and having the time of their lives, Jamaican style, just like we like to see. And one of the ladies, Elaine Thompson-Herah, was just standing there, you know, by herself almost. And basically, I think persons had the opinion that she should have joined in and shouldn't have just stood there. But my opinion differs about that because in actually all these ladies trained at MVP at one point in time, so they're
Right.
all familiar with each other. And as you know, in these situations, sometimes like in group settings, you may have one leader of the pack, and everybody kind of follows what that person is doing.
Right.
And I think that some of the ladies they would have been invited or felt comfortable,
Just
engaging in the
naturally gravitated towards.
festivities
Mhm.
that were taking place. And I think that maybe based on like previous tensions or whatever, it would be up to the leader or leaders of the pack to really invite Elaine Thompson here into the little dancing thing that they had, and they didn't. I do believe that that was a bit off-putting. They should have invited her and made her participate. I know she's her own woman, but still, you don't invite yourself into a situation where you're not wanted. And we know there's tension there. So I believe that it was up to the leader of the pack to really invite her in. And that's just basically where I stand as it relates to that one video in particular.
Right. Something that you always talk about on this channel, Tom, is optics, right? And for optics' sake, um, inviting someone, you can be cordial. Like nobody's asking you to quote unquote be, because we understand. I'm not friends with, a lot of people, right? But I can still be cordial, right? Because we work together or we're in the same space, together. So my friend circle is literally, Chadwick Boseman's friend circle kind of thing. So I get that. So for sure, I'm not, having any ridiculous expectations of, you know, persons being friends with persons when they obviously don't like each other, kind of thing. But for optics sake, for us looking on, it would have been nice to for her to be invited. I remember in another instance I felt so bad, because I thought to myself, this would have been a nice opportunity for you to just pat her on the shoulder and say, hey, we're planning to do this, let's do it, kind of thing. And I don't know if you remember when the medals were being collected for the 1, 2, 3, and Elaine would have gone up first, and then shortly after that we saw this whole sweeping dance move, Jamaican niceness, sweeping. And I'm like, oh my God, couldn't you have just told her to do the sweep too? Because it would have looked so good together. No, when it's only two doing the sweep, it obviously shows that something is wrong, and we don't want to put that message out there to the rest of the world that something is wrong, because people are seeing this. And as a matter of fact, it's not even about the rest of the world. It's just, point blank period wrong, right? You could have said something like, let's sweep together. I mean, Elaine tried to sweep after the fact, but, that's something I thought of. And interestingly, I just want to go into something, because a few weeks ago, let me compose myself. My niece, our niece, Tom, I don't really see her that frequently because she goes off on camp sometimes. So she usually comes to look for me when she comes back from the camp. So I saw her and she's like, I was like, hi, how are you doing? Kind of thing. And she says, oh, she quit netball. And it's like, what? And she said, and I was like, what's going on? And she starts to say to me that she was being bullied. There's this, leader of the pack girl, and she was just leaving her out purposefully and just doing things, to make her very uncomfortable being there. And she couldn't take it no more, and she just ups and quits. I'm looking at her, utterly appalled, because I'm reliving my childhood through the words that she's saying. And I'm like, this is not acceptable. And I think as a people, as a culture, we bully people. That's who we are. We just like, I don't know, we're quote unquote nice, nasty, right? We do it in a way where it's passive aggressive, and you don't even realize, if you're not someone that is keen in on this kind of behavior, you wouldn't even notice that this is what is happening, because it's perceived as nice. So that's what you see on the cover, this whole nice thing. And I don't know, it's just really rubbing me the wrong way. And as I said, as somebody that has
There's an expression that I heard when I was growing up. I think I heard it as a teenager, because we grew up pretty secluded. So I just never heard it until I was much older. But the expression said that Jamaican persons love likes. And I think what it
yes,
means is that we, once we're getting something, we're
mhm,
okay with somebody's behavior either way, or we just, that person's good as long as we're getting something. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And I think
mhm.
when it comes to, I guess maybe some of the elite athletes, as long as they're producing, they can do no wrong in the eyes of the Jamaican public. So they're actually going to close their eyes. They have blinders on almost when it comes to any real or perceived, bullying that is taking place.
But it doesn't this point to a bigger issue as it relates to especially what we're experiencing now as a people, where even if you look at just government on a whole, there's no accountability for anything, because they don't feel like there's a need to, because what we are accepting it, we put blinders on, because oh, we as you say, love likes, so as long as we're getting whatever we're getting, then we're good, and I'm just going to ignore that. But I feel like in situations like this, persons need to know that it's not acceptable, and if you do it,
I
then you
understand
will
what
be
you're
held
saying, but
accountable.
what I will say is that at the end of the day, we're living in a rough world. It's a dog eat dog world out here, and I'm a firm believer in capitalism. And I'm just saying this to say that it's track and field is not really a team sport at the end of the day. Yes, there is Team Jamaica once we're representing on the
Mhm.
international scene, but it's every man for himself. And honestly, in this world, sometimes you just have to be tough. There are going to be some hard knocks, and I also want to say that in the arena of athletics or sports, that's not the only place where you're going to get bullied in life. You're going to get bullied at the
Everywhere.
workplace, at school when you're, in high school, college, whatever. So it's just something I don't believe the government needs to step in.
No, I wasn't.
I
Yes.
believe that it is really it's shameful and it's embarrassing, the bullying that takes place. But I believe that with, our athletes just have to rise above it. So the Elaine Thompson here in particular, and just like push through it and just surround herself by, when you surround yourself by good things and you tell yourself good, motivate yourself in your own way, it gets to the point where nothing that anybody does bothers you at all. So you shut it out to the so that whatever is going on around you, it's like noise. You have no clue, so it doesn't affect you. You have to just like insulate yourself almost from what is going on around. And I think that is really that is the only way to deal with bullying. It's just to not let it get to you at all.
Yeah,
Because
but when
even
it's
if somebody
bullying,
addresses it, the government, the sports officials who may be, that's just going to lead to more I don't know,
animosity, I suppose.
animosity.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I definitely
This topic
understand
is
what
really
you're saying.
dreary. It's really
It is.
depressing. I'm
It
getting
is.
depressed speaking about this.
It is. But I'm just thinking to myself, like, I get everything you're saying, but why is it acceptable? And that's the problem that I'm having. Why is it acceptable? Why are we going through these things
And
and it's
again, I
supposed to
want
be
to say that the
acceptable?
world, I don't believe it is Jamaica per se. I think the world is a bully culture. Look at our politicians. Look at, everybody in the world, the former president of the United States. We're living in a bully culture. That is just how the world is. And the person with the, you know, I don't know, the
The
bigger following in a sense, rules. And that is just how it is. And everybody else has to just kind of fall in line. So
okay,
it
all
is
right.
what it is. In my opinion, it is what it is, and you just have to reach a point. And you mentioned it this year. I must say that Elaine looks happy, and she has been looking happy. I believe you said, when was it? Was it in 2020 or 21? I believe it was before 2021.
2020.
2020, when we noticed a change in her
There's
demeanor,
a
the
fire that I
sparkle.
noticed in her.
Right,
Yeah.
a little sparkle there. Like she decided to just, let the bullies be dust, to rise above them and not let it bother her. And I think we kind of saw some of that during that same, like when she was just standing there waiting for the medal ceremony. She stood there tall and proud. She would not be put off by what was happening around her and the fact that she wasn't invited to participate. So I'm kind of happy about the place that it seems that she is in. She seems to be in a happy place, a strong place, and that is what you really need to survive, competition and this world in general. So I'm kind of happy for Elaine that she has the solid persons around her, and she seems to be doing much better.
All right. In a sense, I completely agree with you because I also had to rise above. I mean, I rose above a different way entirely, not by ignoring it, but by maybe beating them up. But that's a whole other story, right? So I definitely understand that, and I suppose it's just it's just for her to rise above, which is what she is doing. And I know you chat fans are gonna say, "Oh, we're only highlighting it because it's Elaine, blah blah blah. We love Elaine, yada yada yada." No, if it was happened to any other athlete or any other person, especially coming from the place I'm coming from, seeing my niece a short few weeks ago, looking at me in grief of going through something similar. I will always call it out. And I don't know, going forward, I suppose if I see it, even though we can't do anything about it, and it's, I guess, life, and life is what it is. I guess I can just always be a one voice in everybody's head, reminding people that this is not acceptable. Tom, do you have anything else to add?
Oh no, and that's it, I guess. So we just wanted to kind of put it out there because that's how we're feeling. We feel about the situation, and this is our platform, and we want to use it to highlight all areas of sports and things that we're passionate about. So, trackies, do not come down hard on us in the comment section. If you disagree, you disagree. That's
Attack
okay.
mode. Anyway,
That's
Trackies,
okay.
sound off in the comment section and let us know your thoughts on this particular topic. As usual, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm T.
And I'm Tam. We'll catch you in another one.